Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this May edition of the Tech Spark Show. Oh, wow. Can you believe it? We're almost halfway through 2025. Crazy ride so far, right? Great first quarter. And then here comes April. There was a roller coaster April, as you guys know what happened. But that's not important. The most important thing we here today and to talk about a very interesting topic. We want to talk about the international safety mark, and then we have a special guest here, Brian Liu.
Hi everyone, my name is Brian. I am the technical service manager at Minwell USA. So we're gonna share experience about international safety mark. Okay, for today's section.
Great, let's go ahead get started. So on today's section, we're going to have three different main topics, and the first topic, we're going to talk about the international mark and why it's so important. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the international safety mark, why it's so important for that. And second, we kind of break down the Mexico, Argentina, and Singapore, just for these three countries, because the safety mark requirements is slightly different from the rest of the world. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the IEC 62368 global acceptance. That sounds kind of, we need to understand a little bit more about that, right? Even for me, I'm like, oh, which safety is that? So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So Brian, why is so important that we have that international safety regulatory mark in the product, and why we need the mark for different countries?
Yeah, because different country when the product is electrical product, and especially those power supply, the adapter or enclosure tab, when they go into the country, country are regulated differently to different type of products, and they have different requirements. Some like require you to do the exemption first. Some of them require you to have the certification before you import into the product. So sometimes I got customer calling in saying that, hey, my product is on the ship right now. It's at the port. They don't let me in. Okay, they need this to be done. And sometimes for order. I mean, if you guys know you work with a for order who has experience, they would tell you right away before even take your product. Say, do you have the PSC certification? You have the KC certification before they even get your have your product on the ship. So just because the country just try to protect the citizen, so that's why they require different. They have different regulation to different type of products. Okay, and so that is for different country, and another one is the GMA, what is called global market access. Okay, is allow the so with Minwell product, we have a lot of product that already have ready to the market ready. Okay, it enable the customer to target different markets. Okay, including some market in Asia or Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
okay. So that's why it's international safety mark become more important now, because we're trying to target company are trying to target global.
Sure, yeah, so that's important, right? We live in a world, it's flat land, and many of your end customer product, not just promoting selling in the North America market, they probably selling in Japan, yeah, in Argentina, different countries. So it's very important to understand all the safety regulatory mark for different country and all different requirements. And most important, Minwell has such broad of the product. We have 15,000 standard of the shop product, and some of the product may not or may do have some of the safety regulatory mark. That's what your customers needed to enter that country. So it's important to understand a bit more about it. Yeah, great.
So the next slide, we will kind of introduce some of the product that we have with the safety mark, and we're going to focus some on the adapter and also the enclosure tab. In terms of adapter, for importation, it's considered like a B2C. It's business to customer. Okay, it's ready to use product. For those LRS enclosures power supply, it's considered a B2B, business to business, meaning that the product going to the country may do some value added and then export it out, or some may go into the country and then install into the final product. Okay, so those are some countries have specific regulation before or even allow you to import the product. Okay.
So we can think about like the adapter. It's kind of like an end product. Like you have an adapter for your laptop, right? With the the LRS is considered component level, right? So the safety regulatory mark is slightly different if it's considered a power supply is using as a component level, it's inside this machinery, or it's a kind of end product. Customer can just use it itself, the consumer can just use it itself on that.
So let's go. Let's talk about, we're going to go about the US first. So for adapter B2C product, is in US it's by OSA. OSA basically require the product to have the UL listed mark before import into the country. Okay, and aside from that, FCC radiation is what you need to do, and also the efficiency is what the power supply need to meet. In terms of the LRS, okay, it's not a mandatory, okay, it's a voluntary, or as you know, if you don't have the mark, basically a customer doesn't really want it because it's not, their product not going to get certified. So in terms of importation, it requires for the adapter, but not the LRS. But in terms of uses, like user customer needed it, we needed the mark. That's why you see this product would have both the UL listed mark and the UL recognized mark on the on the power supplies.
Yeah, and the interest fact, go check your refrigerator. You will see that UL circle, it's listed product because it's an end product. But if it's UL without that little circle, that means it's considered as a component, one of the component inside of using for just as a component usage only. Yeah.
And so next one is the CE. So you see the CE mark on a lot of products. So European is regulated different than the US. Okay, they require both, mandatory for both adapter or inclusive power supply. Okay, you need to have your safety done. You need to have your EMI done. You need to have your RoHS compliance for both products type. And it's just for efficiency, adapter it require efficiency. Okay, on top of the safety and EMI. Okay, that is for Europe and UK. Okay, UK is similar. Okay, it's similar to Europe. Before the only difference is that they use different standard now after they withdraw from Europe. The standard they use is with the suffix BS, stand for business standard. Okay, going to the country require the UKCA mark. Okay, so those are the three main region market that require the marking before import into the country.
So UK like to be different. So the Scotland, the Ireland, and the UK region, right? It's kind of like your Scotch. If you like it, they like to separate out from the whole European region of that, where they take the C. So C for the Europe region, the UL for the US market, the UKCA for the UK kingdom. So basically these three big marks, if you have the product on hand, have the three marks, pretty much cover majority of the land territory in terms of safety. You can sell to the US, to the Europe region as well.
And so the next one I will cover the Japan. It's called the PSG mark. Okay, so this Japan is for adapter. It's required to have the PSG mark before importing the country, as well as registration. Okay, so it does not require the component, the LRS, to have the mark. But you can file the exemption to go in there, and then because it's installed into the final product. So for the adapter type, so if you have a customer would like to import the adapter into the Japan, okay, you will have to get a hard copy from us. Okay, the certification that we have post online, okay, is cooperate with our distributor in Japan. Okay, that's how we get the certification, and then we can use, and then your customer can request a hard copy from us. Okay, and then the hard copy can be sent to your Japan importer to have it register with the METI, the Ministry Economic Trade Industry in Japan. After you finish the registration, you're good to go. Okay, your importer in Japan can import the product, or you can export the product into the country. Okay, so a little bit work on the power supply going to Japan. Okay, and the next one is the Korea. Okay, Korea is for both product adapter for sure. You need to have the Korea, and then how we do it, just like a PSE, we use a CB report to convert. Okay, as long as we have the CB, okay, we can get the PSE certification. and then we can get the KC certification. Okay, that we send a part the report to the KTC, and then they review it. They give us certification. We do need to have an importer there. Okay, and we cooperate with a local distributor importer to get the certification. No, so for adapter, and for power supply um, is not mandatory, but if you're doing it for resale like B2C, so let's say if you take the LIS, you import the LIS and you resell it in Korea, then you need to have the KC mark. If you don't, if you install the power supply inside a final product or use some value adder, you don't. Okay, so that is a little bit different as compared to Japan, but both of them, okay, you can use the CB to convert. Okay, and the next one is Australia and New Zealand. Okay, they are also using the. So you see, there's I put like a 62368 underneath all those Japan, Korean, and Australian mark, meaning that those are the standard that this country adopt from the ITE standard from the CB. So we can use CB to convert them all for all the three countries. So you don't have to do testing. And Australia for adapter and or for enclosed tap power supply, the standard product we have is there already. Okay, if the importer want to import the product, what they have to do is they have to go into one of the website called EES. Okay, stand for Electrical Equipment Safety Scheme. They have to register the product before they import it in. So what they have to do is they simply download the certification from our website and then upload it into the portal and have it register. Then they have it in. Okay, yes. But for the power supply, the LIS side, they still have to register, but what they have to show is the EMI certification. Then they are able to get it in. That's why I'm saying
I don't know.
The regulator,
I'm listening to. I'm doing
adapter
a text.
is for consumer, and then those power supply they usually integrate into the system. That's why they not like they don't care, but the strength level is much less as compared to the adapter type.
Got it. Okay. So Brian, maybe we pause here a little bit. So for PSC for Japan, Korea, and the ASEAN for Australia, they are a little bit differently. But the similar part is we can use the CB report to convert it. Yeah. As you guys know, CB stands for the certified body, which is have 50 countries, which they all agree somewhat the stand on this. So the country, if it's in that CB body, that 50 country, we can just easily to convert it. But for Japan, it's a bit different. Like they like to be different. So when you're applying something to the country, you can't just do the registration on that. You need to have a hard copy. For our sales team, we actually get a request quite a bit. So we actually have a hard copy of the certification sent by our overseas factory third party to the US, and we ship it to your customer. For the Korea, all you need to do just basically just need to have marking, right? And we already use our logo importer the name on it. But for the RCN with the Australia one, and you do need to register on that. You don't need a hard copy, but you do need to register on that before you enter the country. Yes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Oh, okay.
Okay, so the next one is the CCC is for China. Okay, China is also mandatory, it's also the adapter. They use a standard called, it's different than 62368, GB 4943. It's equivalent to 62368. They are a little bit different is they don't really take CB report, so you have to have it test in locally in China. Okay, and they regulate adapter and also LED driver. But for enclosed tap, also same thing. You don't need to have a mark to come in. Okay. The only thing you a lot of our product do CCC just because our local distributor in China recommended to make the product better. It's easier for them to get a certification for the end product. Okay. And Taiwan the same, very similar to China, except that Taiwan required to have the raw house compliant for the product for adapter, and also it had to be tested in Taiwan by approval, some of the lab that approved by Taiwan. It doesn't take CB. Okay, and the last one is India. Okay, India starting 2021. Okay, India already require all power supply. Doesn't matter you are adapter, you are enclosures, you are LED driver, you are battery charger. Going to India need to have the mark. Okay, need to have the mark. That's why you see it a lot of our product. If you notice some Dinwell power supply, ISP 1000, ISP 3000, ISP 2400, it's all have BIS mark. Okay, just because the country now require in order to get in.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the great thing about, if you guys doesn't know, we also have our India manufacturer site that's opening for a few years already. So to kind of go back to the China CCC and the Taiwan for Taiwan stand for BSCI, right? So those two cannot convert through our CB report. It will require the third party to do the testing, as they want to be different. Say, hey, I'm not recognize that CB report. So meanwhile, I would do the testing and help to have the CCC report and the BSCI for Taiwan. And yeah, so I kind of take it back. Earlier I said US, Europe, UK, China is another big real estate part. So along with, the Korea and Japan is such a big economic giant. So I think the other product that your end customer probably build in here, but we'll be selling to those regions. Please pay a little bit more attention to all the safety regulatory mark in our product. And if you all have any question, we have the expert Brian here to answer that for you as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we want to point out is that Meanwhile product is basically ready. You see a lot of countries, it's covered like 38, 40 countries for customer to import. It's basically ready, and except some countries you have to, the importer have to do registration and hard copy stuff. So outside of this country, okay, go to the next slide.
Yes, comes the
The,
tricky one.
Some countries like Mexico, Argentina, and Singapore, those are special ones that were not able to like standardize it, you can say, or make it as a standard model, because this country, they need an importer in order to get the certification. So for example, NOM, okay, we usually work with a NOM in NC, NYCE or UL NOM to get the certification for our customer. And currently NOM Mexico is adapter why they require NOM 001 for safety and 29 for the efficiency. If you have an LED driver, NOM 58 is what we need to do, and that's what we have for the XLG. Okay, XLG series does have the NOM certification.
So we have the HLG already have the NOM certification.
Yes.
That's the only model that we have, but for the rest of it, we would need to apply for it, right?
Correct. So how it's going to be done is the NOM certification. In order for NOM agency to issue the cert, we need to have an importer of record. Okay, the certification is not it's similar to what you see on a CB on a UL, except that it has the name of the importer on the certification. Okay, in other words, the license holder is the importer. Okay, and that's why we are not able to do it for our standard model. Okay, and the NOM also required to make the local testing and also make some change on the label. So it becomes like a modified model if we have to do the NOM.
Yeah, because the label is different, so we need to put a NOM and also the importer record. So the standard model won't have that, except the HLG for NOM. But rest of the model we would need to do it as a kind of optional modified model to put those logo on the unit.
And those are for adapter, and the certification for inclusive type, for example, you can do exemption as well. Inclusive type, if you do, like if you do value add, whether in Mexico and then you ship back to US, or you do installation in Mexico, you don't have to have the NOM mark.
Okay, that's good to
you
know.
can do, you can do exemption unless you're gonna do the B2B, B2C. You have like a store to sell the product to the people there, then you have to do a NOM.
I see.
And the certification is valid for 1 year. Okay, it's valid for 1 year, and meanwhile we have the system in place where your certification is about to expire. We will send you a notification saying that there's a renew process that we need to do.
So every year need to renew, and the price is about the same as when you apply for the certification, or it's a bit less?
It's basically the same. Basically,
so the
Mexico is like one.
Mexico is like the mafia. They wanted us to pay every year, so that's a tricky one. So please keep in mind that NOM the validation is only for 1 year, which you would need to renew every year, pay about the same price as when you apply for it. Yeah.
And so the next one is Argentina. We usually work with UL, TUV, or the IRAM. They call S-Mark for Argentina. And they don't have their own standard, so Argentina use the IEC standard as their country standard. Okay, and that's for adapter. For LED driver, they use the 61347 international standard. Similar to the Mexico, you need to have an importer in order to get the certification. And a good thing about it is that it doesn't need to have any local testing, meaning it can take the CB. And also the validation of the certification is as long as it's standard valid. Okay, or if you make change to the factory, then they have to redo the cert. If not, then it's keep pretty long. Okay. And the next one is Singapore. Singapore also the same. They don't. They use the IEC standard CB to convert, and also need to have an importer as well. Okay, and more for Singapore, to regulate more product for household LED driver adapter. Those are the products mainly that Singapore will regulate, and the certification is valid for like 3 years. Okay, so in summary, this is like the three countries that we usually see customer ask for. Okay, and that's not on the standard model. That's why we want to point it out.
Okay. So basically Argentina and the Singapore PSB mark, we can use a CB report to convert it. So which is an easier process, and the validation day 3 year or whatever the IEC hasn't changed. But now it's the difficult one, which we need to have the local safety agency to do the testing and pay for every year on that, right? So if you guys have a product selling into those 3 regions, please pay a little bit more attention on that. And our team here can help answer any question that you might have, and also help apply for the safety agency through our third-party lab as well.
Okay. So the next slide is why we want to bring this slide up is that you heard we say a lot about the CB adopt, country that take CB to convert, and this is like this slide showing all the countries that accept certain CB edition. So 9050 is phased out already. So currently active is the 6236A, but they have many different editions. Second, third, and fourth, and some countries are not have not adopted the standard yet. Some country does. Okay, so for example, if you look at like Argentina, okay, or Malaysia, okay, they take them all for standard. Okay, meaning that if you want us to get Argentina cert for your customer, as long as the power supply have IEC 6236A second, third, or fourth edition, okay, we are able to get the certification. However, for example, if the United Kingdom, for example, if you want to get the certification for UK or for Germany, okay, but the power supply only have the power supply need to have the second edition, okay. As long as we have the second edition, we're good to go. However, for example, Korea, let's say Korea, if you only have second edition and when you want to get Korea, you are not able to. So maybe you have to upgrade the certification to the third edition.
So Brian, so for meanwhile, most product is that fall in between the second and third. So depending on the product, some of it we have a second edition, some of it we have third edition.
Yeah, majority of them are third already. Majority of them are third already. Some of them still at the second, unless the second standard is expired. A majority of them
is already third.
Yeah.
So if it requires second, I assume we already have third edition. Like Germany would okay to take the third edition since that's the newest, most update.
No, currently Germany only takes second.
Okay, so we had to kind of have an older edition one. Oh, okay.
If we have the third, we must have the second.
Yeah.
So
got it.
If you have the third, we must have the second.
I see. Okay. I see. And the fourth edition is the newest one, right? Few of them, like there's few series of the Meanwhile product do have the fourth edition, but not all, right? So, but right now, good thing is, I think only the 2 countries were able to take the third or the fourth, so it's acceptable. I think for Singapore, so if we have third edition, that would be okay as well too.
Singapore actually currently they only take the 60950. Okay, they haven't accepted 6236A yet. I think they are under review. You see the star, meaning that the star, meaning that the country are under review to see if they what do they have to do with the current acceptance standard. Okay, some may go to 4, some may go back to 6236A second edition.
Okay, so the one have a start is still reviewing, right? Okay, great. So just a question. I know it's kind of stupid question, but I'm gonna ask. So the CB report and the IEC 62368 is the same, right?
Yes, they're the same.
Okay, great.
It's the same time.
Good to know. Okay, so yeah, so I think for us to kind of wrap it up, we just want to know you guys know in terms of a sales report, we like to call us the one-stop one-stop solution. And basically, in terms of international safety, that we have the expert team here. So we have the expert team here. We work very closely with our third-party safety lab. Basically, they for all the safety approval, like kind of Brian mentioned, we basically cover most of the big region that for you guys easier to sell to different country. Again, Meanwhile has 15 standards of the shop product. Certain product may not have certain global safety covered. So just contact our team. We actually can help you guys apply it and then answer any question that you might have. And we do have a special team, which all the engineer, all they do all day is just related to all the safety regulation and all that. And Sharewell is part of the Meanwhile company. So Sharewell, in our Suzhou factory, we do have an EMI lab, right? So basically, they can help debug and testing and actually issue all the EMI certification. So if your customer has a kind of EMI related issue, their end product looking for have the EMI lab, we can do that. The greatest thing is when we do that, we know our product. So we know the power supply that's going there. So when we do our debugging, sometimes maybe there's certain thing we need to modify for our power supply. So that's the great reason why you want to use our EMI lab versus another third-party lab on that. And document control, Brian mentioned that. So we do have a kind of like internal system. And I think some of the distributor, I use Sager as an example here, but I didn't share any name or anything. But yeah, so basically, I think you guys get this notification when you apply kind of the certification. You get this notified from our system say, hey, notice to be expired certified, right? So basically on the bottom, you will list down the product name, certification, expire, and all that stuff. So basically we send out this information about 3 months before the expire day or renew day. So we have very good document control on those. So ensuring that we don't miss that deadline, because it's not fun when you have to renew. Process is easier. But when you had to redo everything again, you had to send in the sample, and normally take about 8 to 12 weeks, depending what safety you're doing. But renew process, normally it's easy. You just have to pay for the money and renew, right? So that's an easier process. So we look out for those email from the system I send out from Meanwhile, or sometimes from our sales team to kind of help you guys remind on that. And that's it. So yeah, so that concludes our meeting for today. And we'd like to thank you so much to join our Tech Spark show. We hope you learned some good information about the international safety regulation and all the requirement, all that. And next month, that's going to be an interesting product. I just got an email from, I think there's a TRC team to ask about TAA compliance. So next month, we're going to talk about what's TAA, right? I'll ask ChatGPT. That's what we do now, right? But don't need to do that. We're going to go in 30 minutes to talk about TAA compliant requirement. So it's going to be the last Thursday of every month that we have the host the Tech Spark show. So that concludes our Tech Spark show for today. But thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for educating us on all that information. And have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye.